I really need to keep working on my posture. I watch myself and I'm wiggling around, but guys, I've got to twist it up back. So, welcome to a semi-normal book review. I spun the wheel and it said book review, and then I put my hand into the darkness and I pulled out The Endless American Midnight by Christopher Loring Knowles. The reason that I'm reading this book is because Christopher Knowles is the person behind the Secret Sun website and videos and all that. This guy has no idea who I am, but I have read pretty much everything he put out on the internet and his books since maybe 2010. I really love his investigations. I really love his blog. I love the Secret Sun. He does really great series on Lucifer's technology, how all of our technology comes from demons, you know. I mean, he made a pretty good argument. And so here I'm today, this book, The Endless American Midnight. So what's it about? It's kind of like a compilation of the unusual and strange. Secret Sun dude, like me, has had very strange experiences in his life. He's kind of psychic, has prophetic dreams, visions, strange syncs. I also have a synchro mystic book, but I don't see it here. I can't show it. But he has a little notebook you can buy where you can write down the syncs that you know in your life. Like when you see the same number over and over again, or when you think of a song and you hear it on the radio, that's kind of a sync. And so there's a book for that too. But this one's about, it's about how the black magicians of this world have systematically dismantled everything that is holy and true and beautiful. Everything that's good and true and beautiful has been papered over with DEI and Islam. This guy is more obsessed with the X-Files than I am, but I admire his devotion to the X-Files. One of my favorite sayings that Mr. Knowles has here is that the old gods will be resurrected under the guise of new technology. And if you want to see it like a visual representation of that quote, the old gods will be resurrected by the new technology, Earth, Wind, and Fire has an album where and it's a goddess statue, and half of it is the old god and half of it is computer. So like go look at the Earth, Wind, and Fire album cover. So there's different chapters in here, and it's funny. Okay, this was like, I think this came out in 2017, 2018, somewhere around there, and things seemed real bad. Okay, so 2022. Things seem real bad in this book, and yet just a few years down the road, things have gotten much worse. So there's esoteric movie reviews in here. I have found many good movies through Mr. Knowles and his recommendations. He's got some bangers on his list. He is obsessed with The Clash. I do not meet him in the Clash space. I don't get it. I'm not going to say anything about it. I just don't get it. But he loves The Clash. Secret Sun is the #1 reason I'm obsessed with the Cockatoo Twins and Elizabeth Fraser. Oh man, 100% agree on that stuff, man. He thinks she's the harbinger of the apocalypse, and like her songs are prophetic, and it's very poetic and it's very beautiful and all of that stuff. One of my favorite chapters is two magicians in a coffee shop, and one of them is like me, and one of them is like most of the magicians that other people see. So, one magician follows one path, and the other one's like drinking a soy latte or a wheat beer, and he's mixing all these different spiritual things together into the mikvah of spirituality. Something from here and something from there. And, these old gods want to be called by their name. And if you just you can't make a casserole out of it. You can't make a soup. Because then you will be the soup. So be careful. And no one's going to watch this video. I know that. That's why I'm just kind of being loose and free with it. But, if a ghost in the machine finds this video and two magicians walk into a bar, can you use your ghost fingers to guess which magician I am? Because it was pretty clear. He also does a chapter on Fortean, the Fortean guy, the guy who compiled all sorts of strange, mysterious things. I mean, like him, this man's a little bit older than me, but like him, I grew up watching Unsolved Mysteries and Ripley's Believe It or Not. I've been fascinated by mysteries my whole life, just like this guy has. And, you know, you're kind of in a mystery school when you're born on Earth. You don't know who you are. You don't know where you're going. It's all just one big frickin' mystery, isn't it? Oh, one of the other things that I really love about him is he talks about the 9 in Esalen. So Esalen is this hippy dippy mind control MK Ultra, MK often offshoot in California, Northern California, and an entity calling itself the 9 started coming through, a woman, I believe, and they said that they were 9 beings, and they were here to educate humanity through some woman laying on a chair. Well, when that woman was channeling information, there was someone else who found out about this woman. That man's name, Gene Roddenberry. So he made a very good case for the fact that Gene Roddenberry was inspired by the 9, these strange demonic entities speaking through a woman puppet. And the reason that all the real Star Trek shows have 9 main characters on the bridge, there's a little connection to the 9. And also, I really loved, in this book, he does a breakdown of the OA. No, what's the OA, old lady? Yeah, I know. The OA was a TV show, 2-season TV show with Britt Marling. Like him, I am obsessed with Britt Marling, too. What's going on with that CIA embryo? Was she a gate kid? Pretty sure Britt Marling was a gate kid, or whatever the sons and daughters of privilege. They don't go into gate. They get something else. They get put an R in front of it. Anyway, so Britt Marling, I loved the OA. I was going through a real rough time when that was out, and it comforted me. And he does an excellent breakdown of the show and of her other movies, because she always has she does movies. She's like extremely beautiful. I'll never be that beautiful. You know how I know? Well, because every day some man wakes up and says, "You're crazy and you're not that cute." So here I am. So anyway, Britt Marling is beautiful. She's like this patrician goddess. She's blonde. And yet she has all these movies that she kind of is in charge of putting out about different worlds or different dimensions or traveling between dimensions, you know, finding the soft spots in the universe, so to speak. And I really love her movies, and I love the OA, and I love reading about it. So there's a considerable chapter in here about Elizabeth Fraser and Jeff Buckley and all that stuff. We see all this stuff going on, but there's a symbolic meaning behind all the strange stuff that you see. And if this sounds interesting to the ghost that is listening, we'll go to The Secret Sun, buy The Endless American Midnight. I mean, I bought this because I support people who self-publish. I love to support people who self-publish, who make weird books that don't make any sense. I mean, I've got, you know, I don't keep stuff around. I've had a stack this thick of books clearly written by schizophrenics. And, you know, there's some gems of wisdom. Even the man who has nothing but madness behind his eyes, every once in a while he spits out a banger. So, you know, you're not listening because you were afraid. Something happened that you didn't understand. See, when something happens to me that I don't understand, I just stick my nose in it until it's coming out of my ears. And this guy too. This guy, he got sick a lot as a child, Christopher Knowles. And that, I think when you're sick as a child, it thins the veil. But for me, that was not my path. I was just born with my eyes pried open like Maudib's sister in Dune. Not that it's cool, it just really sucks. But, you know, when strange things just keep happening to you, at first you try and tell people. You're like, hey, this happened. And they're like, no, you're crazy. And then you shut up about it. And then things keep happening. And then maybe you get a synchronistic notebook and you start jotting it down and getting out the red string and connecting all the lines. And all of a sudden you stand back and you're like, there's something going on here. There's something going on. I can't talk about it. I can't tell anyone, but I got to figure it out. It's up to me. It's up to me to figure this crap out. And so, you know, he went through the same process. I had to be a boring, stupid corporate drone. He was a comic book guy, and, you know, he gets to write about fun stuff for a living. I can't even do that yet. I'm still going, but no one cares what I have to say, so it's fine. I will just leave this here. You know, all my videos are just little treasures for people to find. It's kind of a wild card. Every video I make is a wild card, and I'm going to make a video about that, but you'll never find it. Even if you somehow found this video, you're not going to find the other one because it's unlisted. Oh no! So, this is a compendium of the strange, the unusual. Where? The strange and unusual found in TV shows, found in movies. Go outside, find the strange and unusual around you. I guarantee you will find it. Because you are surrounded by things that you do not understand. And I'm surrounded by things that I don't understand, but at least I can see them. You just say, that doesn't look like anything at all to me. And you missed it. You missed it. And he also does warn you, you know, don't mess with this magic stuff unless you want to get poked in your boo-boo spot, your soft spot. Because he says, and I agree with him 100%. You know, oh, side note, I can identify anyone's asshole just by looking at it. 100%. So anyway, you know, don't mess around with things you don't understand. Or if you do, if you are brave and foolish enough to mess with things that you don't understand, well, get ready for the consequences. They're coming. So I will end this brief review that no one will watch with Heaven's Gate. Remember Heaven's Gate? Not that movie in the 70s where it was fueled by cocaine, but the cult. The guys with the Nike shoes. The guys that were trying to catch a ride on that Hale-Bopp comet. Like him, I was also obsessed. I have a friend who's interested in this. We talk. The Heaven's Gate thing was so strange to me. They found them all and they had just self-deleted and they thought they're getting this ride and there's this charismatic cult leader. And at the time, in that particular space-time, I was in Lake Tahoe. And in my archive somewhere, there's a picture of the Hale-Bopp comet that we got on film. What's camera film, Stephanie? You're old. So I have a picture of the Hale-Bopp comet. And I was so fascinated by the Heaven's Gate people because I have had this longing to belong to a group or to devote myself to a higher cause. And every attempt to do so has resulted in failure, embarrassment, and the sound of footsteps as they run away. So I guess I'm on a solo journey, and that's what it is. But you know, when you're on a solo journey and you feel like you're afraid of the dark, this book can hold your hand. It can tell you something. It can keep you company because at least, hey, you know, this guy will never meet me or never know my name or anything like that. But he comforted me in the darkness. He taught me stuff, and I love reading The Secret Sun. Lucifer's Technologies. That's the best one. I mean, I put Christopher Knowles in the same category as Dave McGowan. Someday I'm going to pull out Weird Scenes in Front of the Canyon, do a little book review on it about how I read it 10 times when it was on the web, and then no one will watch it. Maybe someone will watch it in 5 years, and the only reason I'm doing all of this stupid stuff, putting on makeup, brushing my hair, I hate it, is just on the off chance that someone like me is looking. And I'm just reaching a hand out. To you? No. Go. I'm reaching my hand out to the person who's reaching their hand out. And I know by divine law, they will find what they need to find. And maybe they'll find it in this video. Maybe they'll find it in Christopher Knowles' Secret Sun website. I don't care. One of my greatest strengths is one of my greatest skills is called something, the doing of strategy. You have to do something with your whole heart. You got to do a good job. But when it all blows up in your face, you say thank you. Whatever happens, say thank you. That's my final word of wisdom for this video. You know, if you're holding out your hands and a big old pile of turd falls in it, say thank you. Because that's all you can do. Say thank you. That's what I do to the universe. Thank you. And thank you. Until